From the Newstalk ZB newsroom, this is Newsfix.
In this update, an independent review into the country's largest landlord, former Prime Minister Sir Bill English will lead a panel reviewing Kāinga Ora. The Crown entity's assets total $45 billion. Its annual expenditure is $2.5 billion. Housing Minister Chris Bishop says since he's come to office, they've received further worrying advice on Kāinga Ora's financial situation.
We are not releasing that information right now as it is commercially sensitive, but it indicates that an independent review at this time is the right course of action.
The Prime Minister denies it's hypocritical to scrap incentives for public servants to learn te reo on the taxpayer dollar when he did it himself. Chris Luxon has said public servants should self-fund lessons, but he paid for his own classes this year out of his Leader of the Opposition budget. He says it was a good use of money, making him a better leader. He says that's different to what they want to dump.
We're talking about bonuses on top of remuneration. All the Public Services Minister is saying is, look, she wants to go off and look at actually all the remuneration arrangements to make sure that they are delivering those outcomes.
A Blenheim sex offender and gymnastics coach has pleaded guilty to 29 offences. Gregory Pasks admitted to sexual offending against several girls and producing objectionable material between 2014 and September this year. Police are asking any other victims or their families to come forward. They say Pask is in continual contact with children and young people. Australia's Prime Minister says the worst flooding in 46 years in Queensland is unprecedented. Cairns is cut off, major roads are flooded, the airport is closed. Anthony Albanese told the ABC the Defence Force is standing by
to assist with the recovery. I spoke to Senator Nita Green last night. She was there quite distressed by what she was seeing.
And Chris Luxon says our emergency services are ready to help if needed. That's news. In sport, a couple of quick wickets has slowed the White Ferns' pace late in their innings at the third one-day international against Pakistan. Mealy Kerr was caught for 77 in the 38th over, while Georgia Plimmer departed for 5 just 10 balls later. The White Ferns 195 for 5 after 43 overs. Carl Jamison's omission from the remainder of the Black Caps one-day series against Bangladesh is an act of caution. The pace bowlers endured stiffness in a hamstring, first suffered during the final test against their current opponents in Dhaka. Coach Gary Stead explains the severity.
It's just really more precautionary than anything. If we needed to play and we could, but with the season that's ahead, we just looked at it and thought, is it worth the risk right now in 50-over cricket? So you'll see he's still part of the T20 squad.
Ben says will stay on as cover for the remaining matches in Nelson and Napier. That's sport. I'm Raylene Ramsey.
For more news, listen to Newstalk ZB live on iHeartRadio.